Hey, what's up, everybody? So I don't have too terribly long before I need to get ready for work. That's right, this guy went back to work. But it reminds me of a guy that I know. His name is Jonah. So if you haven't read the book of Jonah, it's quite interesting to read. And when you go through the book of Jonah and you look at who he is a survivor of an onslaught of his people. And God comes to Jonah and says, "Hey, I need you to do me a fave. I need you to go and I need you to talk to these people. And I need you to deliver a message." And Jonah is like, "No, I ain't doing that." And he gets on a boat, and the boat experiences heavy storms, and they say, "We're cursed. Who brought this curse upon us?" And Jonah is like, "That might be me." Because Jonah, at his heart, is a good guy. He's just upset. He doesn't think that what he's being told to do is fair. He doesn't like what he's being told to do, and so what happens? They throw him overboard. Whee! Psh, splash. And God says, "Okay, well, fishy, fishy," nom nom, and swallows Jonah whole. And Jonah's sitting down there in the middle of the stink, in the middle of the gullet of a fish, a big old fish. And he has some time down there in the fish to ponder what's going on. He says, "God, I really don't want to die in the belly of this fish. What do you need me to do?" And this fish spits him up, and he goes and he delivers the message. And at the end, he's like, "God, I don't like you. You made me do something I did not want to do. Why send me? I'm not happy about it." He delivers the message, but he didn't fully grasp what he was being told to do, or why him. We often put ourselves in situations, or find ourselves in situations where we find ourselves in like my situation. Going back to work was not something that was part of the plan right now. The income that I have was supposed to be plenty. It was getting by. It was sufficient until it wasn't. COVID kind of threw everything out the window, and we all have to do stuff that we don't want to do sometimes, and sometimes we have to make sacrifices. But it is in those sacrifices that we have the ability to say, "Okay, God, allow me to continue to work, and no matter what I do, allow me to bring glory to you." And I think that's really at the heart of it. No matter where we find ourselves, as Paul says, he finds himself content in any situation. No matter where we find ourselves, whether it be shipwrecked on a shore someplace, or whether it be working in a job that we don't love, or whether it be working in a job that we absolutely do love, or if it's losing a job that we loved, or if it's being forced to move to a place that we don't love, or you can fill in the blank. Literally, the possibilities are endless. But wherever you find yourself, whatever you do, do to the glory of God. And remember, the moment you walk out of your house, you have entered your mission field. You don't have to go to Africa or Asia or Europe to find a mission trip. You have the ability to be a missionary in your own backyard, which means at your job. It means at your school. It means wherever you find yourself, you have the ability to be a missionary for the Lord. So no matter where you find yourself, no matter what you do for a living or what you do for a job, remember, what you do for a job doesn't define who you are. You are a son of the King. You are adopted into royalty through the blood of Christ. And because of that, it doesn't matter if you lose a job. It doesn't matter if you lose your status. It doesn't matter if you are dirt poor eating grubs from the base of a tree. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. If you know Christ, if you've accepted Christ into your heart, you are royalty. And because of that, you should want to go forth and you should want to tell people about the good news, the hope in Jesus Christ. And we all do things that we have to do. We work jobs that we have to work, even if we don't like them. We have to make sacrifices. We have to weigh the pros and cons. We have to do what is best. And we should be in constant prayer without ceasing. We should be building that relationship with God, and we should be walking so close to God that no matter where we find ourselves, we know that there is an opportunity for us the moment we walk out of our door to be an evangelist, and we have the opportunity to be a missionary and to tell people about Jesus, and for people to look at us and see that we act differently, that we behave differently because we are different, that we live in the world, but we have not succumbed to it. We have not become a part of it because we are to live here, but live apart. An ambassador is someone living in a land that is not their own, and we are called to be ambassadors for Christ. So because of that, wherever you go, whatever you do for the glory of God. Be content where you are. That doesn't mean that you don't try to better your situation. It doesn't mean that you don't go to school and get an education. It doesn't mean that you are content in a bad relationship. That's not what that means. It means that that you are able to see beyond, that you are able to discern your situation, and that you understand that it could be worse and maybe it could be better, but that Jesus Christ works all things for the good. And it doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't matter if it's a horrible accident or you win the lottery. In all things, we have the choice of how we manage our situations, whether it be gracefully, as Christ would want us to, or horribly, as Christ would not want us to. So go forth, spend some time in study, spend some time in prayer, continue to look at your situation, and be grateful for your situation, for no matter where you are, that opportunity presents itself. And as long as you continue to love Jesus, you have the ability to continue to show that to others. So peace out, peoples. Love y'all.